Hi everyone, it's midsummer. Welcome to my short standing pose class. These are the props you're going to need. One chair and 1 to 4 blocks. Let's start. As you move the chair to the side for now, take a wide stance. You want to take your shoes off and also a yoga mat you'll need. Make your feet about as wide as, when you spread your hands out, make your feet the same distance or as wide as your hands. This is the first yoga pose. Breathe and welcome yourself to your practice. Namaste. Take your hands to your hips. Turn your left heel out and your right foot parallel to the mat. Bend your right knee. This is called Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2 pose. Stretch your arms out. Straighten your front leg, hands back to your hips, turn to the other side. Turn your right heel out, your left foot open, bend your left knee. Make your right leg really strong. Push back through it. Take your left hand to your inner left thigh, turn it from the inside of the thigh to the outside of the thigh. In addition, put your left hand behind your left thigh and press your thigh back into it. Both those actions help keep your hip in the right place, helps pull your left buttock muscles under and keeps your left leg in the right position for your knee to stay over your ankle. So notice the tone in your left buttock and your knee right over your ankle. Keep that. Stand back up. Hands to your hips. Hands together, bend your knees, jump back to feet about hip distance. Inhale here. Exhale, bend your knees, jump or walk your feet back out. Turn your left heel out, your right foot open. Same hip actions. Turn your right thigh out, right hand behind your thigh, press your thigh back. Notice the tone in your right buttock. This is time for side angle pose. Right forearm on your thigh, left arm over your head. Reach down through your strong left leg, stretch your left side, turn back to your left so your right side turns up. Keep your left chin down slightly, turn from your right head even. Stretch and breathe through your whole body. Exhale, inhale, come back up, switch sides. This is the time, as well as the other side, you can take 1 or 2 blocks or even the chair behind your leg. As you come into the other side, once you get the turn up and stretch, take your hand behind your leg on the blocks or even the floor, press your left thigh back into your arm, turn your left belly, stretch your right side. Exhale, inhale, exhale, tone your ribs in and down, and turn your whole trunk up. With your next inhale, stand up, turn your feet parallel to the short end, bend your knees, jump back in. It's time for triangle pose now. This modified form, take your hands to the chair. If you have a chair, make sure part of it's on your mat. Start to lift your sitting bones so your low back curves in the back. Bend your knees enough to do that. We'll start with the right side. So step your right foot forward and your left foot back so your heels line up if they're on like a balance beam distance. Bend both knees. Keep the curve in your low back. Take your right hand where your left hand was and make your spine extend out between your legs so your belly, chest are parallel to the floor. Remove your arms. Now keep that opening in your low back. Do the same work you did in the last pose in your inner right thigh to outer thigh, right buttock under as you turn to your side to make triangle from here. Here's where you can use the chair, or again the blocks, one or more, or no blocks, maybe even your hand on your shin. Turn back to your left, turn your right belly up. As you turn, squeeze your feet toward one another to help strengthen your center here. Soften down your left side and turn from your right to your left. Exhale. Inhale, pull your feet toward one another to stand up. Switch sides. So in this form, we're going to start from the chair again to the other side. So I'll show you from the back. So you step your right foot back, arms straight. Spine is more straight. So work toward low back curve. Maybe your arms come up a little higher on the chair. Heels generally line up. Then work your way to face your belly chest to the floor and start to turn. Eventually, as you turn with your mind, turn your left inner thigh to outer thigh, your left buttock under. And you may wish to take a little longer stance here. I just step back, this seat down, and this side up. Soften your right side, turn your left side up. Turn back to your center, spine parallel to the floor. Turn your hands back to the chair, step forward. Arms can go here. And back up to standing to the center of your mat. Good, now it's time for twisted side angle. So bend your knees, jump your feet wide apart. Turn all the way to face your right foot. And at this point, before you get totally over there, take some blocks on the inside of your right foot. Left hand down the blocks, lift your tail, curve your back, tone your belly, and turn from the underneath side, your left side, to your right side. Breathe, stretch, keep the lift of your seat to keep the curve in your back. Keep your twist safe with your belly turn. You may also add on left elbow across, turning around like this. Turn back to the front. Walk yourself back around to the other side. Stay low to the ground. You may walk the blocks back around. So you're on your left side now with your right hand down on the stack of blocks. Coordinate your back heel up, sense of your tail up, belly in. Lengthen your chest up, turn from right to left. Lift, option to take your right elbow across, or even your right hand on the outside of your foot. So it's going to look like this. I'll switch sides to show. So it would look like this if you were seeing from the front. Or even take your hand across like this on the blocks. So let's start to come back out, step forward, and stand up. Time for a twisted triangle. So start the same way you did for triangle. I'll move these out of the way. You're free to use the blocks instead of the chair, or no blocks or chair. Start here. Take my left leg back. Take it a little wider. This one's more about your pelvis and your spine parallel to the mat, the long end of the mat. Keep your arms up high enough that you can maintain low back curve and straight legs. Once you get that, you can be up here. You can also be on a wall, and then you start to turn to the side. So twisting triangle, tail up, belly in, turning, or you can take your hand to the chair or the blocks or the floor. Turn back around to the front, step forward, switch sides, right leg back. Set the foundation, bend knees, swivel, low back in, or up here to work legs, to get high enough to work your legs straighter. Eventually start to turn, move your right hand over toward the, in front of your left foot, and turn. Or right hand on the blocks, or maybe the floor. Keep the lift of your sitting bones, tailbone, turn from right to left, and you may even turn your right ear. It's a hard pose. So we start to come out of there, step forward. Now for Ardha Chandrasana. So very similar setup. So it's called the half moon. Take my hands on the chair. I'm going to start by bending my right knee and take my right hand to my inner right thigh. Turn it out from inside to outside. Squeeze my right buttock. My left leg goes up. This one I'm doing the same side as you, so it might look like a mirror as you're watching. Some of them were actually the same, looked like the same side you were doing. So this one, my left leg's up. That's it. Or you can have your hands down. Let's see, it's hard to talk doing that. So let's try the other side. So I'll show you from the back side. So I'm going to lift my right leg and turn this left side out and squeeze my left buttock. So I lift up, possibly balancing by squeezing your belly a lot and lifting your arm over your head. Then you take this hand off. There, back up. Now I'll do the opposite side so that you can kind of reflect, so it looks more like the side you're doing. So take your right foot forward. I'll take that side for twisting triangle. So this is actually twisted Ardha Chandrasana. It's the twisted version of what we just did. So your right foot's forward. You stand up now and you lift your left leg up. This time you keep your left hand down right under your shoulder and start to turn. You may even take your elbow down, or you could skip the chair and have your hand on the block of floor. Parivrtta Ardha Chandrasana. Breathe and open, strengthen, turn. Good. Turn back to face the front. Great. And I'll bring the chair over the other side so we show over this side. So with your right foot forward, left leg back. It's probably better up this way. So your right foot forward, sorry about that. Your left leg back. You're going to have your left hand down. Same leg that's up in the air. As you turn. So again, it's your left foot and also my left foot. So do the opposite side and turn back around to the front. All right, moving on to the next pose. So the next one changes up the direction. So this one, you take the chair, so you have the back of the chair, this, and we're going to step your left leg back. So I'm just going to stand up here and do the same side. Step your left leg back like this. And make sure your left knee is behind your right knee. Hold your left foot and stretch your chest. So the left knee is behind your right knee. You lift your chest up. Other side. Hold the chair or the wall, or maybe no chair or wall. So your right leg's up, knee behind, push, and stretch. Bow pose. Good. Okay, let's move that chair back out of the way. And this is Warrior One pose. So I'm going to stand in the middle, bend my knees, jump apart or walk apart, lift my arms up so my arms are parallel, like straight like this, straight up over my head. Turn my left heel out, my right foot open. Then I'm going to step my left foot a little wider, so I can pivot my hips to face the same direction. The hip points are even to the side, the short side of the mat. Once I get that, lean a little forward to coordinate lift and tailbone. Both hands on my right thigh. Reach, then put my left foot down. And turn my palms here, your palms, to face the front as you start to bend backwards for the first time today. Pull the stretch to the front of your body, pull your belly up, your chest up. Keep your connection to your strength in your back with your arms out wide. Squeeze your back muscles to bend, and take your hands behind your head as you keep bending back. Keep your back leg strong. Lift your chest. You can back up the same way. Maybe take your hands to the chair if you need to. And straighten your legs. Start to turn your feet parallel again to the short end of your mat. And so they line up. Lift your arms again so your arms are parallel to one another like this, then straight over your head. Turn your right heel out, your left foot open. Turn to totally face the short end, the other side. Take my left foot a little wider. Pivot to the right foot for you guys. Lean a little forward, hands temporarily on my left thigh. Reach. Put your right foot down once you get level. Now turn your palms to face forward as you slide up to your sides and make your back strong. Start to bend the front of your spine up. Move your arms out wide. Squeeze your upper back as if from your hands you squeeze muscular strength onto your back to bend it. Hands behind your head. Lean back, stretch your chest. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhale. Exhale one more time. Inhale. Exhale, arms up. Straighten your front leg. Turn your feet to the side. Bend your knees and jump back in. One more yoga pose. Bend your knees, jump back out. This time interlace your fingers behind your back. Lift your chest. This is a version of Prasarita Padottanasana. So come out halfway, lift your tail, pull the heels of your hands together to stretch your chest. And move your chest toward the floor as you start to fold your spine. The opposite direction from Warrior One. So your tail pulls under, your belly pulls up, your back is in a full flexion. Release your hands, take your arms out on the floor, walk your feet in. We're going to move this into some other versions of this pose. Feet are now a little wider than your hips, maybe 3 inches wider. Lift your chest, long, parallel to the floor spine. And as you lift your sitting bones, start to turn into a fold again. Start to walk your hands down, bend your elbows, draw your tail under, your belly in so your back stretches and your front gets strong. Walk your arms back out under your shoulders. Walk your feet in, hip distance. Inhale. This is called Ardha Uttanasana. You can also take your hands on your shins. Yep. 2 versions of this. First one with your knees bent to stretch your back a little more. Keep your knees a little bent and tuck under your tail. Pull your belly in so you can really stretch like a Halloween cat. Navel way up, spine stretching, knees a little bent. And you can even pull your calves with your arms. Let your head release. Come back out halfway. And this time let's go with straight legs. So keep the lower legs pressing forward so they don't bow back too much as you try to strengthen your upper legs. Long spine, straight legs. If your legs are straight, you can fold again. If not, go up a little higher and try to straighten your legs. Stretch them. here. If they're straight, you can fold here. You can also use the blocks. And this is Uttanasana. Make your way back up halfway, hands on shins, legs straight, elbows, hands on hips, elbows up. Squeeze your feet together, come back up, and one last opening. Inhale, arms all the way up at Urdhva Hastasana, arms alongside your ears. Exhale, take your feet a little closer in. Squeeze your feet. If you can manage balance, take them all the way together. Squeeze your feet together, your legs together. Tone your abdominal core, the lateral deep core muscles across your hip points, across your rib points. Tone in, keeping that stability. Hold your your right wrist and stretch over to your left. Stretch your right side. Press your right foot down. Slightly lean back to your right to stretch your right chest. Keep pressing your right side out that way. And keep pressing your right foot down. Squeeze your core to come back up. Switch sides so you're holding your left wrist like this now, arms over your head. And stretch over toward your right, stretch your left side. Toward your right, I said that right, and stretch your left side. Turn back to your left, slightly. Press your left foot, stretch, and back up, squeeze in, exhale, hands back together. It's a good time for Shavasana now, or legs up the wall to take in the energy of the standing poses. Thank you very much. Namaste.